Are you on your phone or on
I'm
your
not. I'm
laptop?
on my computer.
Okay. So if you want to check, well, I guess if you're on your computer, you can also just check my live stream, like just go straight to it and then see what people are commenting.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, if you
I've
want.
never done a live stream before, so this is
Yeah,
new for me.
this is my first two-person live stream.
Well, I'm honored to be the first.
Yes.
First
By the way, welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Welcome to the viewers. I guess if you guys are watching the replay, then welcome. This is my very first, like I said, my very first time doing a replay type of, I got my words mixed up. My very first collaborative live stream, phone in live stream with good friend here, Avery. Thank you for joining.
Oh, thank you for having me. This is my first ever live stream, like ever, so it's new territory for both of us.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. How have you been?
I've been good.
Oh, geez, I think you're freezing again. Oh no. I'm trying to remove and then add you again. Okay. All right. I think you're good.
Okay.
All right. What were you saying?
Can you hear me and everything?
Yeah, I can hear you. What were you saying? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear and see you.
Okay. So what were you saying when I asked how are you doing?
I just said I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. It's cool. I've never done this before.
It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna be talking for the next like 20 minutes, just talking about how cool this is, and that's it. That's the whole.
Yeah, that's the whole stream.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have that much to talk about. I did want to bring up some topics, but I guess we can talk about those things first. But like first, like the okay, let's talk about your recent video first.
Okay.
The wishbone one.
Yeah.
When did you film that?
I filmed that, I think, what is today? Saturday? I filmed it, I think, Thursday night.
Okay.
And then yeah. Yeah, I think I filmed that at like 2 a.m. or something that Thursday night into Friday, and then put it up when I did, which was like this morning. So it was quite a long process of getting it up and going.
Yeah, how long does it usually take for you to go from shooting the thing to editing it?
It depends on like what I'm doing. Like if it's a 2-hour movie, then it'll definitely be like more time. But that was just like a 20-minute episode of a kids show, so I was kind of able to do that one kind of fast.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I loved Wishbone, and I loved that I found the Sherlock Holmes one, and I was just like, I remember this one, and then I just like on a whim was like, I'm gonna film this next, and then I did. So then we got the video that we did.
That's great. Like when I went to the Wikipedia and found that it was it aired before Airbud.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, this is a trailblazer right here.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they used 5 different dogs for Wishbone.
I guess they maybe have to, just like sometimes the dogs don't, they're having a bad day and they're not cooperating, and like obviously you're not gonna like force an animal. It's like animal abuse if you try to force an animal to do something that maybe it doesn't feel like doing that day.
Yeah, and like with kids and animals, it's like there's only so many hours you can work with one of them legally a day. So like if you have several of them, you can like you have more hours. So like,
just stack them. Yeah, that's why like it's like the twins thing of little kids, like, you know, famously Ashley and Mary Kate Olsen.
Yeah, I just found out the other day that the little girl on Good Luck Charlie, like the little baby, was only one baby and it wasn't a twin, and I was like, how? How did that work?
I think it's just, well, when you look at the pilot episode, you only see the baby for like a total of like 10 shots.
Okay.
And then it's like very specific shots, right? Like the
Yeah.
rest of the shots, like they're holding a doll.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It is interesting though that they took their chances with just one and just hoped that they would be able to get the shots that they needed in time.
yeah.
That's kind of impressive.
Hold on. Did you hear when they did the reunion on Zoom? Did you watch that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, that was good. Just like I think during like the pandemic, you see like all of the TV reunions, right?
Yeah, all
Because
of
that's
them.
because like they all have time. You know, shows are canceled. That they're not acting right now, and like they can easily just hop on Zoom calls.
Yeah, it is. It was really funny. We saw like the reunion of like literally everything in those first few months of the pandemic. It was actually really cool.
Yeah, yeah, that was great. Okay. I just had to display the little banner at the bottom. I don't know. You seen this? The little banner?
Yeah, it's the bottom. Yeah, the bottom scroller.
Yeah, let me see if I can just show you my screen. So like, ignore this infinite loop, but
Yeah.
saving from that, like this is what it looks like.
Oh, that's
So
really cool.
you got like all the comments here. No one's watching this yet, so no one's commenting anything.
That's actually that's chill.
Dude, so like if you want to set up a stream for your channel, like this is a pretty good easy way to go about it.
Okay.
I mean, you do get the little powered by StreamYard thing at the top, but like apart from that,
But it's a cool service. Like it looks like it runs pretty well.
yeah, and it's just plug and play. You just click, and then like this is
Nice.
bringing, so like that,
cool.
and then we can like I think, shoot, oops, not sure if we can. Yeah, I don't know. This is how it is. But yeah,
Nice.
you can see like comments come in real time.
Yeah, I can see the comments on the side, like right here.
Yeah.
So that's cool. It does work very similar to Zoom, which I became very, very familiar with this past year. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's good. I think everyone just immediate like from like February, like only a few people in like the business space and like people who are like in the tech space or who do a lot of online meetings and stuff. Like I was already using Zoom before, but then like when March hit, I was thinking like, is Skype gonna get big? Like, or like, nope, not at all.
Nope, not because Skype is not as good as Zoom. Like Zoom,
it's not
better.
Yeah, it's. I feel like it's also more user friendly, and even though like Skype was a verb.
Yeah, like definitely. I used to use Skype like all the time, years back. But yeah, I remember it was funny because like I did not know about Zoom until everything shut down. Like the day before everything shut down, I wouldn't have known what you meant when you said a Zoom meeting. And the day after, it was like that was my whole life from then on out. Then like all my classes went to Zoom, everything went to Zoom. So it was just like, oh, this is how we function now. Okay, this is cool.
Yeah. How are your classes working with that?
So I was in acting class. I was taking multiple acting classes when that happened, which acting classes on Zoom, very funny. I had an improv class on Zoom, really funny, fun, but definitely like uncharted territory for everybody involved. So that was definitely an interesting experience. But Zoom did great.
Yeah. Like from what I'm hearing for people who are doing like acting classes in like video chat, it's really weird because like you can't do like real time. It's always like delayed that, 2
Yeah.
seconds.
Well, and then it's always, I remember one time it like dumped me out of the call, like right in the middle of me and another person doing a scene. So like it just completely dumped me out. So like they gave me a line and then I froze. And so the whole class just like was like, oh no, what do we do now?
Oh wow, that's suspense right there. What dramatic tension.
Yeah,
You
it was
can't
really
plan
fun
these
though.
things.
No, but
Oh
it
man.
was fun. I had fun in those classes that I was doing. It was like right when everything shut down, so like I still had like stuff to do and like structure in my life. So that was good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna add another screen share another thing. Um, all right. Have you heard about this thing?
I have not. Wait, what?
Mattel developing movie based on Uno card game with Lil Yachty eyeing lead role.
I'm so interested.
Okay, all right. Let me explain this to you. Because I was also very confused, but very intrigued. So yeah, it's this is an adaptation of the Mattel toy universe, uh, based on the Uno card game. The toy maker has a live-action heist comedy in development, set in the underground hip hop world of Atlanta, with with Grammy-nominated star rapper Lil Yachty eyeing a starring role. Um, and it's exactly what you think it is. It's like all of these things together,
Oh
um,
my God.
and it's beautiful. I
That is
I
absolutely beautiful.
I really look forward to watching this.
I'm just really hoping that means that here in Atlanta we're gonna get it as a filming project because I just want to work a day
Yeah,
and just
dude,
see what that
you're
production's
in
like.
Atlanta, so like get on that. Get like call up the extras agencies or whatever. Um, is that
Yeah.
how it is? Like you have an agent, like an extras agent?
So there's several agents in the city. I really only do stand-in work as of lately, but it all goes through the same agencies. But yeah, there's just several of them, and by this point, I've been doing this for like 4 years, so they know me. So they kind of just text me, and they're like, "Hey, we have a job for you. Are you available?" And it's like, "Yeah." So like, I work. I don't know my work schedule like in advance at all, but like I am fortunate to just like have things come like steady work coming in. So. But yeah, I really want to work on the Uno game movie now.
Yeah, dude, you gotta figure out how to get on this. Uh, like just the hold on, just this alone, like movie based on Uno card game with Lil Yachty as the lead role, about the underground Atlanta hip hop scene. Like that log line itself,
That's my favorite headline I've seen like in a while.
like you sold me. I
Yeah,
stop pitching me. You got the job.
yeah, for
Like
sure.
if I was a development exec, if I was
Yeah,
working at Mattel, like stop, you got the job, greenlit.
yeah. I wonder like how they like being the guys that had to pitch the Uno card game movie. Like that must have been an interesting pitch.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I guess through their content production arm, because like Mattel also owns Barbie, right? And Barbie, like has like a whole bunch of movies and stuff. So I guess
Yeah.
in one of the producers must have pitched that, who produces the Barbie movies, must have pitched that. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's just so I'm just so fascinated. I just want to see this movie
yeah, dude, same. Like,
because
all
I have
right,
a lot of questions, but I'm very intrigued.
okay. What are some of your questions? What's not to understand about this?
I guess just how does Uno fit into the plot line of anything is my main question.
All
Like,
right. Well, we got time here. Let's develop it ourselves right here, right now.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So Uno, you got it's a card playing game. Maybe it's like the underground world of hip hop is the background of this kid played by Lil Yachty and his dad who runs an underground Uno ring, like gambling.
An underground gambling ring, but they only play
But
Uno?
they only play Uno.
Okay.
They only play Uno. And it's just called Uno. Like Lil Yachty's got Uno shot. He's got one shot at his career in hip hop, in underground hip hop. It's gonna be one of those my dad wants me to do something, but I don't want to, and I want to go into the I don't know, because you got to promote the game. And how would you promote? Because the point of Uno, like these branded content movies, you got to promote the game, right? So I don't know how.
Maybe it's like the Queen's Gambit, but it's not. It's not chess.
Oh, the Queen's Gambit.
It's just a professional Uno player.
How does it fit in with the underground hip hop scene in Atlanta, though? I'm not sure how all these different elements fit together.
I don't either, but I'm so like I hope I get to see a day where this is made and I can go and see this and find out.
You remember back when Jimmy Kimmel used to do those that sketch of the movie, the trailer?
Yeah.
This is that film. This is like one of those scenes,
Yeah, it's kind of like the headline alone almost feels like one of those things. Because didn't Jimmy Kimmel also do like that thing where he would send people out on the street to feed people fake headlines and just see if they would go along with it?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you hear about this, and they would just play along and be like, "Yeah, of course I knew about that."
Or like go to, yeah.
Yeah. It almost sounds like Jimmy Kimmel was like, tell them that they're making an Uno the movie and just see how many people buy it, like without asking any questions.
Yeah, like which headline is fake and which one is not.
Yeah. Yeah.
That seems like a true TV show.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really funny though.
Yeah. I still don't know how you would sell the game.
I don't know. Because at least like when they made like Clue, the movie back in the 80s, Clue at least had a plot line. Like it's a game with a backstory for them to lean on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just interesting.
Yeah. Not sure how one would go about that. Okay, there's another headline that I want to get your thoughts on. Where are we? Okay. So A Little Late with Lily Singh is ending. What were your thoughts on the show?
So I never watched the show ever because I'm just not really big into late night as is, but I saw plenty of online discourse
about the
show and how it wasn't very popular. But yeah, which is kind of a shame because I always I thought that there would before they made the show, I was like, this could be good. Like this could be, cool, and it's cool that a YouTuber is moving into that late night space. But I think, I don't know, late night is just one of those mediums that hasn't changed in decades, and I feel like, I don't know, I don't feel like there's a lot of crossover between Lily's audience and people who would be into late night in the first place.
Yeah, Lily's audience are full of digital natives and young kids.
Yeah.
And they know about late night shows. Like they've seen clips of carpool karaoke or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's the format. I do agree with a lot of these comments of it's weird that you would late night itself is already trying to position itself as cutting down clips for YouTube for consumption on digital media. So I don't know, it feels like a weird step to the side. I wouldn't say it's step backward, but it's a
Yeah,
step
it's just
in it.
different. Yeah.
And like, I guess, no risk, no reward. So
Yeah. And I mean, it was the first, like, she was the first, like, YouTuber to, like, go into that space, and it's just a very different space than YouTube. So, like,
I guess someone had to be the guinea pig, and she was it.
yeah.
But good thing.
I'm
Sorry,
sorry, go ahead.
continue. No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it also, like, late night is very similar to, like, award shows in the way that it's kind of an aging formula for TV, and, like, it seems like they keep trying to make it more relevant, but it's just not what people are interested in anymore. So I feel like it's kind of a losing battle in some regard, you know?
Yeah. You hear watch that Eddie Burback video on like awards shows.
Yes,
He's
I
like,
love that.
they should just be slimed, like the
The Nick
Nickelodeon
Choice
Kids
Awards.
Choice. Those were my
Yeah.
favorite. That was probably one of my favorite award shows. Was the
Yeah, it was so
Nickelodeon
fun.
Kids Choice Awards.
Yeah, when he referenced like Jack Black hosting, I was like, I remember that year. I remember
Yes,
that.
was that the
That was
that
such a
was
great
the
year.
that was before Kung Fu Panda came out, I think.
I think so. Either just before or just after.
But yeah, that was. I mean, Jack Black, his personality is just, and it works so well for kids entertainment too.
Oh yeah.
And he also works very well for like dark stuff with Tenacious D.
Yeah. He's just very versatile.
Yeah,
And he's just very likable. So
and that's why his YouTube channel works so well.
yeah. And it's really cute because like he clearly just is like doing YouTube for his kids and stuff and like doing it with them. So it's like
Yeah.
it's cute to see like a big celebrity just like being a dad and like hanging out with his kids and stuff. Like that's cute.
Yeah, he's just like hanging out with his son. I'm pretty sure that's why he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but good thing is that obviously there's no need to feel bad because it looks like she's got a first look deal, and she's developing a comedy at Netflix with Kenya Barris. So
Yeah.
it looks like she's gonna be okay.
Yeah. She'll be fine.
No need to worry about
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Did you hear about how the Chicken Soup for the Soul had acquired Crackle from Sony?
No.
All
They
right.
did? Really?
Yes. All right. Let me share my screen again. So they acquired, because Sony, they had a lot of issues, but like I guess they just didn't find it very profitable or something like that, and so they sold it to the company that owns Chicken Soup for the Soul, like the holding company, and
Okay.
and yeah, they're creating Crackle Plus, which is weird because they already have Crackle and something called Popcorn Flicks. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Because I know the thing with Crackle is that it's completely free, which I'm always like, I know that they run ads and stuff, but I'm always interested to know how they're making money with like with like no subscription fees and like because for a while they were like making a lot of low budget things, but a lot of things all at once. So like, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
What do you think of like this whole like everyone just coming up with the word, just adding the word plus behind things?
Everybody is trying to get in on streaming because I think they just know that that's kind of the way of the future, and it's
Right.
going to be interesting because like not all of those streaming services could possibly last forever. So it'll be
I don't
interesting to
know,
see which ones make it.
because like if as long as it is not more expensive than what they were paying for cable,
Yeah.
or maybe even at the same level, but now you got to compete with free content on YouTube and TikTok and all that. But like, as long as it's not more expensive than that, then I think some of them will survive. I think you'll see like the big people probably survive. I mean, Disney's not going anywhere, but I think you're likely to see. My bet is on Paramount Plus and Disney Plus sticking around.
Yeah.
I don't know how well they'll do, but they'll stick around. Paramount Plus is just like they have, what do they have? They have all the Nickelodeon stuff.
Yeah.
Because they're Viacom, CBS. They have Star Trek, so Star Trek is a big property.
Yeah.
If anything that Paramount owns, anything that's I guess a lot of it will be like MTV reality TVs as well, shows as well. So yeah, I don't know.
I feel like too, like you know how like Disney and Hulu kind of have a partnership where like if you have Disney Plus, you can get Hulu cheaper, or
Sure.
something like that. I feel like you might see something like that too, where you see them kind of like bundled up, like some of the smaller ones might bundle,
Mm-hmm.
and that's my prediction anyway. That the ones that won't do quite as well will end up being kind of absorbed by bigger ones.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Hulu is majority owned by Disney.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
So,
and that's the thing with Disney Plus is they just have so many properties that they are either in their library or that they own with like Star Wars and Marvel. So like it's just they're just doing so well because of
yeah.
all the stuff that they have.
Yeah. I think they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to say they're probably going to be ahead. Oh, hey, what's up, Danielle?
Hey, Danielle.
We're waiting for a response. What are y'all talking about right now? We're talking about the streaming services and like which one of them are going to survive. Are they going to survive? And are the streaming wars going to look like?
I know just personally, like I use Disney Plus and Netflix so heavily. So my money would always be on those. Even though Netflix keeps like losing their they keep like losing things to other things. So it's kind of interesting.
They are still like growing though. Maybe not as fast as the other ones, obviously, but there's still like the international market, and I think just like the ubiquity of Netflix is enough to be able to hold them there. But their business model is one income stream. It's subscriptions, and so when that's your one income stream, you got to think like, do we want to go into advertising or maybe merchandising of our original properties? Like they need a Star Wars.
Yeah.
Whoops. Yeah, Quibi.
R.I.P. Quibi for sure.
Roku Originals now, because Roku had acquired all of Quibi's their content, and so now they're calling it Roku Originals. I'm betting on Roku to also do well. They're growing quite fast.
Yeah, Quibi was such an interesting thing for me to watch. I never had Quibi, but it was just a funny thing for me to watch on the outside of it. Just like all the discourse of like, because like I understand why they thought Quibi would work, because like on paper I can see it being like something that seems profitable, but just like everybody seemed so offended at the thought of like using Quibi. It was really kind of hilarious.
Yeah, like there was an ad supported tier that you had to pay for, which I think some of the other isn't like HBO Max has that or something like that, or like one of the other subscription services. I don't know. I'm Canadian, so we have Netflix and we got Amazon Prime. We don't have everything that you guys have. We don't have Hulu.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, we have something called Crave, which is run by which is owned by our equivalent of AT&T.
Interesting.
And they have a deal with Hulu where there's like any of the Hulu shows, they give them to Crave. So you got to pay, I don't know, $5 a month or whatever.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it just feels like we have so many, like right now, I just keep seeing ads everywhere for what is it, Discovery Plus, and it's to the point where I'm just like, I'm not gonna get Discovery Plus just out of protest for how many commercials I've seen in the past like 2 weeks. It's very funny.
Yeah, like, well, I was going to, but now I won't.
Yeah. My new
It's like,
thing actually is BritBox. I've been using BritBox quite a lot because I got it for the Doctor Who episodes that I did, and then I just kept it because I was just
oh,
like
okay.
I got sucked in. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been watching like the late the new Who with
I'm behind like several seasons on like
Jodie Whittaker or whatever?
I haven't seen her episodes at all. I don't even think I've seen Peter Capaldi's episodes. I have like massive catching up to do on that front.
Oh, so where are you at? Like, did you get to the part where Matt Smith's doctor
Yeah, I was like in the middle of
regenerates?
his.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and
So
it
like
was
still
like
still
yeah.
in the middle of his run.
Yeah, it was like a while ago that I like fell off the bandwagon, and it wasn't for any particular reason. I think I just got like really busy, and I tend to do that with shows. I kind of like forget, and then I
Mhm.
forget like where I was,
Oh,
and
it's
then
probably
try to
like
jump back in.
the anniversary. Like after the anniversary, I think a lot of people dropped off.
Yeah, I'm planning on going back and watching all of them. I've been watching a lot of like the old like black and white Doctor Who, which has been very interesting. Um,
Yeah.
I love like old sci-fi like that because it's just like it's so fun to me, like how they did all like the sci-fi worlds like before the effects and all that stuff.
Doing some gardening recently with my uncle, and at the end, he handed me the breaker, and on an unrelated what okay, cool. All right. Well, cool. Back to Doctor Who.
um,
Gearing up for the 50th. One of my friends was just like, I've never watched Doctor Who, and it was like a year before the 50th anniversary, and he was just like, you know what? I'm gonna start from the beginning. I'm like, from the beginning? What?
from the beginning,
Yeah. So
beginning.
from what was it called? An Unearthly Child or something like that.
Yeah.
He started from the beginning, and then he like went into probably like the dark web or something to find the lost episodes.
Yeah, so because like on BritBox they have the ones that didn't get deleted, which that whole story is just still funny to me and will always be funny that they just like erased a bunch of the episodes. But like yeah, watching from the beginning with Who is a commitment, not just because of like all the episodes you have to go through, but like you have to like you get to this point where it's like it skips 10 episodes because they don't have them in the archives, and you have to like go and like look up like and try to
Yeah.
find like either a recreation that somebody's done, which is actually pretty easy to find, or I guess just like if you can't find one, just like a summary of what happened, because every episode leads directly into the next episode. So like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I think the old ones were a lot more what do they call it? Serialized, or like the one where it's just like episode per episode.
yeah, they did a lot more of like there was an arc, and then there was just another arc. Like it was kind of like broken up into like every few episodes was a story.
Yeah.
Um, but it's funny how like especially like I'm still in the first Doctor era when it comes to old Doctor Who, and it is funny how like everyone is like literally a cliffhanger.
Mhm.
And so it's like when it gets to a cliffhanger and then it wants to skip forward like a few episodes, you're like, hang on, what? Go back.
Yeah.
There needs to be, some kind of explanation. But I think just because it's been out for so long and the Doctor Who fandom is so committed, you can pretty much like I haven't found one episode that I couldn't find a recreation of yet, which is good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got to go back and watch some of those because I've only watched the new Who.
Yeah, they definitely the 60s, like the William Hartnell first Doctor era, definitely reminds me of Teenagers from Outer Space. When we did that, I was
Yeah.
like thinking back to that a lot. I was like, yeah, this is very that.
Now that we're talking about that, like, let's talk about some of the videos. Oh, I guess Patty wants to still talk about Doctor Who. The Lorax is the best of them all. The book where he talks about how he encountered angry Mike Tyson got put his esophagus is amazing. Okay, cool.
Did that happen?
What? I don't know. I must have skipped that episode. Yeah. I guess you guys can keep asking questions in the chat, but I want to ask, of the videos that you've done, what is something that you look back on and you go like, have your thoughts changed on any of the ones that you've done?
Have they improved? Like, have my opinions of something improved or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I asked that, because lately I guess you can say love or affection for the Star Wars prequels films has increased, or at least there's just like, it's actually not that bad when you look at it. And then obviously like the people like the Gen X and the Boomers and the people who have seen the original series of Star Wars and then were disappointed by the prequels. I think they're still like they're still sore from that whiplash.
Yeah, the one thing that I've learned diving into like all of this like niche or these like lesser known things, especially on my channel, is that that everything is niche to a certain extent. Like everything has an audience out there for it somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really funny. I think one thing, like I look back at I'm trying to think. Like I look back at just like early videos that I did and like how surprised I was at like the weirdness of it. And it's just like now I'm like so desensitized to like that weirdness.
Mm-hmm.
And so like it just kind of feels like it feels like it takes a lot more to surprise me now because it like I reference Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny every chance I can, but like your life divides into pre-Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny and post-Santa and the Ice Cream
I'm so sorry.
Bunny.
I'm so sorry. That was my
I'm so
recommendation.
I'm so glad I did it because I remember just like editing it and just being like, God, they're not gonna believe this one. I
hardly did.
I was so excited to see the discourse like when I was getting ready to post that. And it did not disappoint. The conversation was so funny. It was just, we were all collectively traumatized.
Yeah, dude. Like I just pulled up a list of worst Christmas movies of all time, and then that was among the list. And I was like, I want to see Avery cover this and know her opinions.
Yeah, well, it's funny because both of my parents are Floridians, and when I told them, "Hey, I'm covering this movie," it was this little known '70s movie made on a low budget in Miami. They were both like, "Oh, that's gonna be quite interesting." Just like hearing about it, they were just like they were so interested to see because they didn't even know it existed. It came out like when both my parents were kids in that area, and they were just like, "What?"
So they would have been the audience.
They would have been the audience, and they were like, "What?"
Dude, that mole person storyline, that was so crazy.
Well, and it's funny because my grandmother loves Thumbelina, so like it's funny because like I've seen versions of Thumbelina, but none that are that jarring. And I'm very interested to know if like Thumbelina is supposed to be like this big, and the mole is like her size, like how the proportions work out.
Yeah. That was quite an experience.
It was, for sure.
Best way to put it. Yeah. I think Danielle had a question about Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh yeah, Danielle recommended that I cover Little Shop of Horrors, and I was talking about how that I've actually wanted to do that for a while, because I've never actually seen Little Shop of Horrors all the way through, but it's just like so interesting to me.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Do you, like? I feel like we got to do a documentary. You and me, man. We got to do a documentary on Santa Claus and the and the Ice Cream Bunny.
God, yeah.
We got to figure out like what was the motivation behind that.
I just want to talk to one person who was there working on it. I just want to know
Yeah,
what it
like
was
one of the
like to
kid
work on.
extras or whatever, the
Oh
child
my
actors.
goodness. Yeah, I would love for that video to get to somebody who was actually on that set because I would love to hear a behind the scenes story of that.
Yeah, I want to see if if I can get in contact with someone from like Gimlet Media or something like that. We can launch an investigative podcast series on each episode, just interviewing a different person who worked on the show.
Yeah. Like a documentary series where like every episode you like track down like a different like little known movie or TV show and just to try to get like perspective on like what it was like working on it.
No, each season, man. It's like just
Just
the
each season.
first season, like 12 episodes season. All 12 episodes dedicated to Santa Claus and the ice cream bunny. I want the origin story. What were the producers on when they come up with this one, if anything? This is Miami. And so if they were Miami producers and if the stereotype of well, I guess the cocaine like boom didn't happen until like the 80s in Miami, right? I don't know. The 70s, the 80s, I don't know.
I'm not well versed on that.
It feels like Florida Man, the Christmas movie.
It does. It really does. It feels like if Tommy Wiseau made a Christmas movie, that's the Christmas movie that he would have come up with.
Yes.
For sure. And
Santa, you're tearing me apart.
Oh yeah, yes. Don't you just sometimes wish that Tommy Wiseau would make more movies? Because I definitely do.
I mean, apart from like the yelling and abuse that was apparent on the set, like minus that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, obviously. Have you ever read Greg Sestero's book?
No, I haven't read, but like apparently it's pretty close. The movie's pretty close to it.
Yeah, there's just like, there's just extra stories and things that they couldn't get into the narrative of the movie. But my favorite thing is I listened to it on audiobook and Greg Sestero narrates the audiobook himself.
Mm-hmm.
And his Tommy Wiseau impression made me laugh every time because like you can tell that he spent so much time like hearing Tommy Wiseau. He can do his voice like so well.
Yeah, I'm a real American guy.
Yeah. Yeah. It is very Tommy Wiseau for sure. Like that whole movie just gives off Wiseau vibes.
Were there any other videos that you wish, or maybe you could take a second look at? Maybe you could do one of those, like let's revisit this.
Ooh, yeah. I don't know. I purposefully I like to cover things like one episode at a time so that I can like deep dive into it and then have the potential to come back. As far as like looking back at something that I've already done, I don't know.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's here. I'm going to pull up your YouTube channel, and we are going to see. We're just gonna go through your videos.
Boy.
Maybe let's start from the top. Let's start from oldest.
Oh God, I've thankfully gotten better at doing thumbnails in the year that I've been on YouTube.
Hey, that's how practice makes progress, right?
Yeah, I use Affinity Pro to do my thumbnails, and I had never ever used it before I made my first thumbnail, and I was just like trying to make something that was legible, I guess. I don't think that's the right word, but just like something that didn't look like complete chaos, and I was like, cool, that's good enough. And then like looking back, I'm like, well, I've made progress.
Well, I mean, this one got 1,000 views, and then this one also got 1,000 views, and this one also got 1,000 views. So.
Really? That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, your cooking tutorial, your first 1950s following a cooking tutorial. I got 1,000 views.
God, that video was so much fun. So
dude,
chaotic.
You should do more with your cooking videos with your mom.
I was just talking to her about that yesterday. I was talking to her about the possibility of her coming back to do a video about like a Good Eats episode. Like if you've ever seen Good Eats.
Yes.
I love
Dude, that was my favorite cooking show. Oh
Because
man,
Alton Brown was basically just Bill Nye the Science Guy, but he cooked. And I
yes,
loved it as a kid. And like, there's so many like recipes, and like, we actually, fun fact about our family, we own every episode of Good Eats, like the original run on DVD in a big box. And I was like, hey mom, we should do a video on one of those episodes. And she's like, we actually should. So that might be something that
absolutely.
happens sooner than later.
Yeah, I would love to see that. All right, let's see what else you got here.
So fun fact, you just scrolled over Love Comes Softly. Do you know there are 11 of those movies?
Sorry, where?
The Christian Oregon Trail one, like
Oh,
second from, yeah. There's 11 of those movies, and I have actually thought about going back and talking more about that whole series as a whole, because it's quite a lot.
you know, I've been actually considering writing a Hallmark movie or like a made for TV Christmas movie because it looks
Dude,
like so much fun to write.
yeah, it really does.
Like, they know that they're not making Citizen Kane.
Yeah,
Like they know what they're doing. And so it looks
yeah.
like fun to just
Oh yeah.
write. Um,
And like I give them a hard time all the time, but to be fair, like especially like Netflix got in on making their like made for TV Christmas movies, and there was like the what was it? The Christmas Prince trilogy. I think I watched all three of
yeah,
those. I was like,
yeah.
it's
You
so
know
like
what?
so bad that it's good.
Yeah. So Danielle says it seems really like a lot of fun. And the formula plot is always something.
Yeah,
And yeah, like I'm in like a couple Facebook groups where people have are writing and have written for um, Hallmark or Lifetime, and like from like I joined a year ago when they first started, and like
yeah,
during that time they've written their first a couple of their first screenplays and then got them pitched and then got them made in that time.
yeah,
And they were like, yeah, it's like super fun, super enjoyable. I think what I got to do is when I'm writing, I got to think with not just the story in mind, I got to think with a sequel in mind, so that way I can make more money. You know.
yeah. I feel like if you've already got a sequel lined up, they'll be even more interested.
Yeah,
There's that potential for more. And I definitely see like there's definitely an appeal to like things that like those kind of feel good movies and things that just like you know that it's not going to be like some like tragic ending at the end of a Christmas movie. So
yeah,
I can 100% see like where the market for that is, especially after like the past year of pandemic and stuff like that. It's kind of like I think you and I have talked about this in the past. It's kind of like sitcoms. Like sometimes you just want to put on a sitcom, even though you know how it's going to end every time, just because it's very
yeah.
very I don't know, light, I guess is a good word.
Yeah. That like that sort of sitcom formula.
Yeah,
And I think like there's shows that have been like pushing that formula for a while. Arrested Development sort of comes to mind as being sort of like ahead of its time.
yeah,
Community kind of pushed that as well, but even
yeah,
though they still adhere to the sitcom tropes, but they like sort of twisted them on their heads. BoJack Horseman was a big one for me, and The Good Place.
I
That
was
was an
about to
excellent.
say The Good Place.
Yeah,
I'm actually rewatching The Good Place right now, and it's just like I'm always amazed at how well they kind of walk the line between like there's like the humor has all the sarcasm in it, but it also has a lot of like positivity, and it just like they're able to like put those two things together very well. And like I love everything about The Good Place.
yeah. I think it was like after Mike Schur, he created uh, Parks and Rec, and then he created Brooklyn Nine-Nine. At that point, he was given carte blanche to just like do whatever he wanted. I think like from the beginning, like when he was probably 21 or something, he came up with the idea, and he's like, I don't know if anyone will make this, but I want to make a show about moral philosophy.
And you can feel like that passion project energy when you watch it. You can tell that like the people who worked on it really, really believed in it, and I think that just like says a lot about it, you know?
Yeah. All right, let's get back to the wrestling, the wrestling game film kind of flopped, but it had the idea of real immersion. Same with Disney Black Cauldron, which was still well presented. Shinakers 9. Oh, 9. That's the one with the little little tiny puppet thingies or whatever, like the little I don't know what to call them. They're like rag dolls with a part of the designer's spirit like put into it. Yeah, I watched that and it was so depressing. It was great.
What?
It was a beautiful movie, beautifully
I don't think
like
I've
animated.
ever seen that.
Yeah, it's called 9. And there's like 9 little rag dolls that this the inventor like put his soul into or whatever.
I'll have to watch it. It's like
it's
little
3D
dolls
animated.
That are like, okay. It sounds like something that will terrify me, but I'll probably still see it.
It was okay. It wasn't that depressing, but like when I watched it, I was still kind of young when I watched it, and so yeah, Stitch Punks, part of the scientist's soul. So yeah, well organized and deep. When I watched that, I had a existential crisis.
Oh, I love movies
and I was
that
like thinking like because it was a movie about like the end of the world. There's like yeah, there's like post-apocalyptic type of thing. And yeah, I guess that just wasn't something that I was used to. Beautiful movie though. Like beautifully animated and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So maybe we'll give that a watch at some point.
Okay, I will.
All right. So which one would you think would be a good revisit apart from this one? Oh, yeah. The Jimmy Neutron movie.
Oh,
bro,
God.
Jimmy Neutron.
God. Do you know that there are 2 Jimmy Neutron PC games? Did you ever have those as a kid?
No, my parents didn't want me playing video games as a little kid.
Yeah, there were 2 of them, and they were both bizarre in their own way.
Yeah. I did like the show. I loved
I did too.
And then when they did the crossover with Fairly Odd Parents.
Yes, for sure. Oh my God. And they like switched animation styles.
Yeah. That was also one of the early shows when I had before I knew of the term shipping. Jimmy and Cindy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Of course.
Yeah. They were OTP for sure.
And then they canceled the show and they did like a spin-off with Sheen.
Yeah, I never watched that though.
I didn't watch it either. That was past my age that I was.
Yeah, I was phasing out of Nickelodeon for sure at that point.
Yeah, like Nickelodeon, Disney Channel phase, that like tween. Yeah, like once you get past like 13, you stop watching that. You start watching like the CW or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I guess
like the CW is like a transition, like from
kids
programming to adult programming. I think
Freeform, CW.
Oh, I was so into Freeform. Well, it was ABC Family back then when I was like 14, 15. Yeah, for sure.
We didn't have that, but we did have we had access to the shows. Obviously, they're not going to give up a very similar market. So they sold it to. We had something called Family Channel back then, which is basically our version of like the Disney Channel. Like all the shows would be syndicated in Canada. And do you remember the show Life with Derek?
Yeah,
that was a Canadian show, right?
Yeah,
and so Canadian. Yeah, did you know that they're bringing that back?
No,
they're doing a spin-off. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh my God! Yes, the evil Jimmy Neutron he had like a goatee.
Oh yeah,
very weird.
All right, so this is what it's called. Let me see if I can find it. Oh geez. All right, it's in development. Life with Luca, live action spin-off comedy series based on the hit Life with Derek.
Okay.
Picks up 15 years later as Derek and his type A personality's daughter Skylar basically it's the same show, but Derek and Casey are living together as
Okay.
like aunt and uncle, and then
Okay.
like they have kids who are like, Casey's son is Derek personality, and then Derek's daughter is Casey's personality.
So it's sort of like Fuller House, where it's like
It's Fuller House, basically. It's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And they're just hoping they can cash on and just enough nostalgia that the parents who watched it would watch it with their kids, kind of like a girl meets world, boy meets world kind of thing as well.
Yeah. How do you feel about, because aren't they doing an iCarly like reboot? Like,
Yes.
yeah. I'm interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, there's a whole bunch of comments I didn't even see. And Mr. Young, yes, Mr. Young was also a Canadian show.
I don't think I ever saw that.
Naturally Sadie, that was also a Canadian show. Latest Buzz. Autocrossman said, I felt like if Jimmy Neutron was something more implemented, like what King of the Hill did for mature adults. Yeah, I think. I mean, it's hard to say like going back and like what would have happened. Captain Underpants was reckoning enough, earned good vibe and earned respect for his stories. Yeah, I remember hearing about Captain Underpants, and I never read the books.
Yeah, I was never into it, but it was like everywhere for a while.
I never read it because I just didn't read as a kid.
I read a weird amount as a kid. Like I was like the kid that like would win like at our I was homeschooled, this is a very homeschooled thing for me to do. But like as a kid over the summer, they'd have like those reading competitions where like you'd have to like log as many books as you could. And I would like win like most of the time. Like I read like constantly.
Was the prize more books?
It depended. It was usually because we're in the South, so like usually it was like I think I won like Chick-fil-A coupons one time, and then one time there was like a set of books that you could win or something. And yeah, it was always like in partnership with like local like community businesses and stuff, which was it was always really funny. It was always like coupons for some restaurant and then like something else, and then like if you really really won, you got a book. Which I feel like if getting kids to read was the point, there should have been like more book prizes.
Yeah, I just did not like reading as a kid. I don't know why, and my dad found that very frustrating. Because he was like, you should read and not watch so much television. Because I watched like a lot of television. Sometimes I used to wake up at like 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning on a Saturday morning just to watch television. But yeah, I don't know. Like I would go up to my room and then like stare in between the pages and just replay the show that I just watched. But now I like reading. I don't know. I guess like for kids, you just kind of like let them get into it. I don't know.
Yeah, because I was encouraged to read like whatever I was drawn to, because my parents were very like into making sure that I read a lot. So like I got to kind of like just like I think I just like got to pick and choose, and like there were a lot of things that I was drawn to that I just like was like I want to read this, and then I think I read like all 52 of the original Nancy Drew books like one summer. Like I feel like I remember that. Like I was really into that for a while. And there would be like phases where I was like into that, and then I was into like some other book series, and then it would just like, I'd cycle through.
Autocrossman, I think they are you talking about like is this comment about new upcoming Nancy Drew movies or like past ones? Because that's on if you want to talk about past ones, you can find some here on this channel. One right here. 9 months ago.
Yeah, Nancy Drew was big in the 70s.
Yeah.
There were also, I came across several Nancy Drew movies that were made in the 30s, which I find so interesting because like the books had like just started coming out when these movies were made.
Yeah. I think it's like then it's like anime. It's like should I read the manga first or do I just get right into the anime?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty
Do I
much.
read the manga first? Kids WB. Yeah, I didn't have. Yeah, once again, I'm Canadian, so like ours was different. That's gonna be like that's gonna be a common thread of this conversation. Yeah, I was Canadian, so it was kind of different for us.
Well, for a while we only had like I was a PBS Kids kid for a while, and then like I think when I was like 8 or 9, we got like cable and got access to like Nick
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Disney Channel, and
same.
it was like, whoa.
Except the Canadian versions of those.
Yeah.
We had I think yeah. So Buffalo's signal was strong enough to get to our region
Oh, that's
here in
interesting.
Toronto. I think their signal was strong enough. Daniel, me too. Yeah. So
PBS Kids,
yeah.
for sure.
So yeah, definitely Arthur.
Oh yeah, Arthur. Yeah. Not Caillou.
Bro, everyone hated Caillou. He was like I was a bratty kid. And I think I hated him even more than other people because I saw myself in him, and it was like a self-hatred thing as a child, which is a lot to take in as a 7-year-old.
That's like existentialism right there.
Yeah.
I was really into Zaboomafoo.
Sabumafu. Oh man, when the monkey died, like what, 2 years ago?
Oh, do you know that his family, like his daughter and grandchildren are on TikTok?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
that's
same
cute.
sanctuary that he lived his life in is like his like descendants live there, and they're
Okay.
like
Yeah,
TikTok
that's
stars.
cute.
It's adorable.
The francophones denounce Caillou. Yes, Canadians in general denounce Caillou. Um, I I can't speak for all Canadians, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that yes.
I can't remember why Caillou was so disliked. Like I know why people found him annoying, but it's funny because like I don't remember. I haven't seen it in so long that I couldn't tell you one thing about Caillou.
Yeah, I don't know. With OK Boy, I still got to watch Jacob Tutu, Sonic Underground, Cyber Chase, recent years, Mystery Science Theater, MSTK 3000, Only Denali. Yeah, cool. I remember Jacob Tutu as a kid. That was a Canadian show. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I've heard of it. I feel like somebody requested it on my channel at one point, but I've never seen it.
I would say like a lot of North American animated kids shows were Canadian produced just because of how, first of all, like the dollar was cheaper and the labor is cheaper. You also get tax credits here. And our culture is so similar. So
there's so many American shows that are like filmed in Canada.
Yeah.
Like exclusively.
Yeah.
It's I think it's similar to like why a lot of things film here in Atlanta is because you get so many tax credits and things like that. It's a lot cheaper to just be out here, and it's versatile like landscape. There's so many different scenery options.
Yeah. Like Stranger Things, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see. It's I think gonna be the last season, right? I think.
Like either last or like, second last. But yeah. Let's see what else you got here.
Oh gosh.
When you look back have you watched your old videos and be like,
I try to avoid it like the plague. I don't like seeing myself on camera. I've kind of gotten used to it for the purposes of just like editing, but I don't like ever sit down and like watch my own stuff.
Hey, that's us.
That's us. That was such a fun video. I remember like looking for an hour to try to find that poster of Teenagers from Outer Space to use for the thumbnail so that it
Mhm.
would jump out. So
Yeah.
I think that was my first ever video done about something in black and white. So I was like, how do I make the thumbnail visible?
Pop out. Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess if it was black and white, then we'd stand out.
I guess so. Yeah. I don't know. I should mess around with it the next time I do a black and white something to
Yeah.
see what the thumbnail looks like.
I don't remember when I started watching your channel. I think it was around Under Wraps. Like it was around October, like your Halloween
think because
run.
I remember here where I did the why am I blanking on the name? The one that Travis requested, the uh Scary Godmother. Scary Godmother. I
Oh,
remember
okay.
that probably around that time because I think Travis shared that to his community tab.
Yeah.
And then a few people found me that day.
And that's how I found you too.
Yeah. That's a fun I loved doing Halloween stuff. I'm probably going to do more Halloween stuff before it's Halloween.
You're gonna start in
There's so much
August.
Yeah, I mean, I started in like September and I still never got like nearly as much stuff as I wanted to cover done because there's just so much great like Halloween kids content.
You gotta get on Fiverr and just hire an editor so you get all of them done.
Oh my God. Yeah. So far I've been managing, I think I was lucky enough to have my brother who's an actual like uh, editor. He actually
Okay.
knows what he's doing with editing. He helped me during Christmas just because I had a lot of things coming out at Christmas. So he was like, I think we had like 3 videos going out every week for the month of December. So he like helped me. He edited one every week for me, which was a huge help.
Yeah.
I definitely can see doing more videos on the Ghostbusters cartoon just because it was so random.
Yeah. It had some like star voice actors too. I don't remember who, but like
It really did, yeah.
Yeah. This one, some of your videos like do well, quite well. Like this one.
Thank you. Yeah, some of them, and it's always like the ones that I don't expect. Like
it's always like that. Why would it be any different?
It's always the ones that I'm like, this is gonna be the one that gets like all the traction, and it like it's not. It doesn't reach nearly as many views as something that I'm like, I don't think. Like I remember when I first did Beyond Belief, I was like, nobody cares about this show except for me. And I think I've gotten more requests for episodes of that show than I think any other show.
Really?
Period. Yeah, I have like 6 different individual episodes in my like requests folder that I've been meaning to get to.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like people request lots of stuff.
Yeah,
sure.
I love it because it always gives me great ideas for things that like I never even heard
of. Maxwell Adams. I haven't seen any of that, so I have no opinion on that. On this, this person.
I remember that Billy and Mandy was really, really big, like when I was around middle school age, and I never watched it, but I know that it's very, very popular to this day.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have any opinion on that, but yeah, you know that they're doing was it Under Wraps? I think they're doing a remake of that.
Are they really?
Yeah, for Disney Plus. I think that was their first DCOM, like official like Disney Channel original movie.
It was the first one branded because everything before that was technically part of the magical world of Disney. That's where like you get Mr. Boogedy and Bride of Boogedy and all that stuff. And even I think like H.E. Double Hockey Sticks and My Date with the President's Daughter also not technically Disney Channel movies. They were technically branded as Magical World of Disney.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting because they haven't, to my knowledge, they haven't yet put the original Under Wraps on Disney Plus, which I feel like they should.
Is it not there?
I don't think, last I checked, it was not there. But I haven't checked like super recently.
I like this one that you did with Natasha.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we have to have Natasha back on soon.
That was super fun, like just watching you guys bounce off of each other.
Yeah, Natasha. I've known Natasha for 4 years. We met doing background work,
Right.
and so yeah, she's really, she knows a lot about like the behind the scenes workings of like set work and stuff like that, which is really fun to hear her talk about like those kind of shows and stuff
Is
like that.
she like it? Is that what she does?
Yeah, she is full time. She does background work and stand-in work here in Atlanta. So, and she actually teaches about basic um, filmmakers like set etiquette info and stuff on
Right.
TikTok
Okay.
too. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But I really want her to come back and do a video about the Dungeons and Dragons cartoons because she is a Dungeons and Dragons aficionado. So that would be
Yeah.
really fun.
But I mean, she sells dice.
She does. She makes really cool dice.
So yeah, that was cool. I at some point when things calm down, I want to fly out to Atlanta.
For sure.
And then purposely not visit you. Just gonna text you.
Just be like, hey, I'm here. Cool, you want to do a video? No.
I'm gonna put a tracker. I'm gonna figure out how to put a tracker on your GPS on your phone, and then just avoid you at all costs. No, I want
to. Man, that would be really fun.
No, but yeah, like I do want to try some of that. Those Atlanta chicken wings, the lemon pepper wet.
Oh, we have really good chicken wings.
I want to try that. Some of that. Ever since I saw it on like Atlanta, the show.
Yeah. Oh my God, Atlanta the show. It's such a good show.
Hey, I'm in Atlanta. Are you at Target? Then
yeah, pretty much. It's like Target and Waffle House. We're really big fans of here.
Yeah, I hear like was it the Waffle House indicator? Have you heard of that?
Yes, that's a real thing.
Yeah, because it's just like it's just running all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, like you can Waffle House is never not open.
Like if it's closed, something's wrong.
Something is very wrong. We even have like if you go into like like we have some pretty like upscale Waffle Houses that look like from the outside they have like these like their branding looks like an upscale restaurant, but it's a Waffle House.
That reminds me of like that Winnie the Pooh meme where he's like regular Winnie the Pooh and then Winnie the Pooh with like a monocle and a top hat.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. Regular Waffle House. Extra fancy Waffle House. Yeah, they just took they highlight the font and then just changed it to like a fancy script.
Yeah, Waffle House is a big deal here.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna head down to Atlanta and you give me a tour of Georgia.
Oh yeah, Atlanta is actually it's a really cool city, especially from filmmakers' perspective, because there's just a lot of really cool spots.
And then you come up to Toronto, and I'll give you a tour of.
Absolutely.
Have you seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
No.
Oh, dude, that's a good movie.
I need to see it.
It's probably one of my favorite movies. Just like it never takes itself seriously, and it's very Edgar Wright, and it's like basically it's like an anime. It's like an anime as a movie.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Mr. Meaty was pretty legendary. I don't know that. I haven't watched that.
I've never watched that either.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks. Shows, like, I remember seeing commercials for it on, but I never would watch it. I was like really picky with what I watched as a kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I don't know if Travis is gonna hate me for this, but I think that's why I never watched. I haven't watched Avatar: The Last Airbender until like recently. The last year. I don't know if Travis is going to be upset over that.
I'm still not done with it. I'm like at the end of season 2. I started watching it a little bit after we did that video on the live action movie because I needed to cleanse my brain from the live action movie.
And what do you think of it so far?
It's really, really good. Like the hype is valid. Like
I would agree.
Yeah, it's just I love when kids TV shows and movies and things don't talk down to kids. Instead, they use like their platform to like educate kids. but like in a fun way that's not too serious.
Mhm.
Which is why the live action movie was such a crime, was 'cause it was so
Yeah.
bad.
I think, okay, you know what? I was wrong. I think Travis would hate me more for this. My first exposure to the Avatar world was through the movie.
Well, mine too, technically, because like when we made that video, I'd seen like three episodes of the show, I think.
Actually, you know what? That's
Just
true.
enough.
I also have seen a couple episodes. Like I saw the Sokka cactus juice episode.
I just watched that one the other night.
Yeah, and like because as a kid, that was like the first time I was watching like serialized television that was like taking place over, like the story was an entire season's worth, like I guess 3 seasons worth of an entire story. And so I was used to, you watch Fairly Odd Parents. The story is just self-contained episodes, right? And so I had watched that. I'm like, this is cool, like seeing the water bending and like the air bending or whatever, but like I don't fully know what's going on. And so I think that was just like kind of jarring to me. So I think if I started from episode 1 and then continued watching, I probably would have watched it as a kid.
Yeah. It's a lot easier now, like with streaming, to like just start and watch something as a cohesive story. And I think that's why Avatar is kind of getting like, not like a second wave because it was always popular, but like people finding it like streamable on Netflix is like a whole new level.
Yeah, Netflix is like, it brings things to the forefront. Like it, the Netflix effect really is like, that's what brought what's that show? Schitt's Creek, and Kim's Convenience, like 2 Canadian shows that had started around the same time. And like really brought those before they were on Netflix. I remember seeing like the first seasons of those shows, like here in Canada, and they didn't get much attention elsewhere. So like the Netflix effect really is quite real, and they are working on that live action Avatar without the original creators, but they're working on it apparently. You just have to be better than. Actually, it's not very difficult to be better than the live action movie.
The live action movie, I was like, there's got to be something good to say about it, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there was. Let me think. It was over budget. It was poorly written, and it didn't stick to the original, the original story, which would have been fine if it was a good story.
Well, my heart breaks for them because like the way that it ended, they clearly thought they were getting 2 more movies.
Yeah, they really thought they were gonna have a trilogy there.
Yeah, and it didn't work out that way.
TMNT 2012 in general was pretty well. I haven't watched that. I don't know. I think that was probably when I had sort of stopped watching as many cartoons.
TMNT, was that the 2012 one? Was that the live action one? I feel like I've seen.
Oh, the Megan Fox one?
Yeah.
Wait, was she in that one?
Was that one? Yeah. Was that one?
Or Percy Jackson?
Oh,
Percy
God.
Jackson? I remember Percy Jackson.
The Percy Jackson movies, I remember being...
Every tween person who is attracted to either... oh, shoot, what's his face? Is it Dave? No, I don't know. I don't remember what his name is. But the main character, Percy. And then also Alexandra Daddario.
Yeah, it's just, you want to talk about something that like completely diverted from its source material, just in ways that it didn't need to. And then they tried to make a second movie when they had like written out all of the what?
No, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say it was funny because like they purposefully left out all of the like groundwork for the second book in the first movie, if that makes any sense. So when it came around to do the second movie, they had like rearranged the script of the first movie so much that they were just like, you could tell that they were just like, okay, what do we do now? Like,
yeah,
I
don't know. Once again, let me tell you, I didn't read as a kid, so I went into it with just expecting cool water CGI scenes and stuff, and that's exactly what I got. So I was satisfied.
Yeah, actually, when I saw the first movie, I hadn't read the books yet, so I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I read the books, and I was like, "Oh, this is nothing like it." Okay. And the books are actually really well written because Rick Riordan has studied mythology just to an extent that I can't even imagine.
Yeah. What is it? Turtle Films, but there's also a 3-dimension animated cartoon. Oh, okay, I didn't know.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen clips of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in concert in the 90s?
No, I have not.
Look it up because it's an experience.
All right, we'll do.
It's quite something.
Jeez. But yeah. So Avatar: The Last Airbender, like they're doing an entire like MCU style thing, like Star Wars universe type of deal. They have something called Avatar Studios now.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So yeah.
Yes, Logan Lerman. Logan, I couldn't remember his name either.
Anyway, my bad for bringing up back to back. It's okay. We're just talking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think that was not something that I was like furiously into. I'd watch like a few episodes. Like if it was on, I'd watch it, but I wasn't glued to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Did you have a favorite Saturday morning cartoon as a kid?
I remember it went through phases. I remember very specifically I was very into the Buzz Lightyear cartoon. I don't know if anybody saw that except for me.
I have. Yeah, I've never actually seen that.
There was a straight to VHS movie that I've actually been planning to cover sooner than later, and then it spun off into its own Saturday morning cartoon about like Buzz Lightyear, the real one that the toy is based on, flying around the universe doing superhero things with his team. And I remember being really into that. There was like a cereal, there was a breakfast cereal, there was like,
of course you gotta
yeah.
Who was
really into it.
To paraphrase what I think George Lucas had said is the money is not in the box office, it's in the lunch boxes.
Yeah, for sure.
So
because like the Ewok movies, there's no explanation for that other than merchandise.
Yeah, you gotta make that money, and he made that money.
He did. He absolutely did.
He cashed in. I think they said some of the the highest grossing properties. Star Wars is one of them. Can you guess what the top grossing property is?
Top grossing
IP.
If Star Wars isn't the first one.
It's not the first one. It's one of the top.
I feel like the Marvel universe has to be up there, but I don't know if that's number one.
According to my Wikipedia search that I did a few days ago, it's actually Pokemon.
Okay, that also makes sense. Yeah, because of the cards and I was like kind of passively into Pokemon as a kid, and then I kind of became a nerd for Pokemon like later when I got into like the video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this
yes, Kim Possible is a cult classic for sure.
Bro, Kim Possible.
It was great. I was just watching that the other day while I was editing. It was wonderful.
Are you gonna do an episode?
I am planning on doing one soon. I just kind of had it on as like background noise while I was editing. I think the video before last that I did, and I was just like, man, this show still holds up.
It slaps, yo.
Yeah.
Call me, beat me if you want to reach me.
Yeah, for the longest time, my cell phone, like my ringtone, was the little do every time I got a text message.
Yeah. Yeah. You would always answer, what's the sitch?
What's the sitch? Everybody in my life would be like, stop.
Wait.
Yeah, that show really predicted it like FaceTime calling, didn't it?
Well, I think it was just like it's not so much predicted, it's just like back in early science fiction, that's something that they knew was kind of possible because television was possible, right?
Yeah.
And so they're like, if we can make that two ways, and then we could eventually, Moore's law will allow for smaller and smaller transistor chips, and then eventually it'll be available for wireless communication. And sometimes it's just like we write something in science fiction and then we try to make it a reality.
Yeah, I was just watching episode 4 of Star Wars with my dad, and like we were talking about how much that first Star Wars movie probably influenced like where our technology went with like robotics, because like it just made robotics something that like everybody was so interested in because it was such a cultural thing.
Yeah, have you seen that Marcus Brownlee retro tech series?
I've seen a couple of episodes. I have not seen all of it, but yeah, I like that series a lot.
Yeah, so like his season 2, he looks at stuff where they thought there were going to be, so things like hoverboards and other kinds of future tech, and see if they've gotten to that point yet, like teleportation. And something that, like a recurring theme was like how much our fiction, how much that influences what technologies become inventions, right?
Yeah, it's like if you like when you watch Back to the Future 2, because that's set canonically in 2015, and like how advanced they thought we would be.
Yeah.
And then just in other ways, like how our technology has surpassed what they could even think of. Like it's just really interesting.
Yeah. Star Wars Clone Wars cartoon.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, hold on. Give me. You can keep talking. Give me.
Okay. Yeah, I remember actually really being really into the Clone Wars. I don't remember Static Shock. I remember seeing commercials for it, but I never actually watched it.
Sorry,
Hello.
my dad went out for a walk and he forgot keys.
Oh no.
Yeah, Star Wars, the Clone Wars. I actually haven't seen that. I've been meaning to, but the Justice League of the mid 2000s, like that one, I thought was an excellent cartoon.
Yeah. Batman the Animated Series also.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Always great.
X-Men Evolution. Have you watched that one?
I have not seen X-Men Evolution.
That was the 2000s one.
No, I think I've seen random episodes of like the one from the 80s, like one of the the original one, but I've never seen
the one with like Jubilee and all of those characters.
Yeah, because when I was younger, we had something called, well, we still technically have it, but it's not quite as focused on old stuff. Boomerang. If anybody had Boomerang, that's like old cartoons from the 60s, 70s, and 80s was what they aired when I was little.
Oh.
So like I saw a lot of like 70s and 80s era cartoons.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't. I mean, it's on Disney Plus, I think. So maybe I'll give it a watch. Maybe you could do an episode.
Yeah, there's so many things like that where I'm just like, that would be a really fun, like, chill episode to do.
Static Shock, dude, that was a good show.
I was just saying, I never watched it, but I remember seeing the commercials for it.
For Static Shock?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a good show. And Lunatics, have you seen that one?
Mm-mm.
No?
No.
Yeah, it was basically like the Looney Tunes characters as superheroes, right? I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Interesting. That's fun.
I mean, Otto can correct me, but yeah, continue.
I was just gonna say, did you ever see Gargoyles?
I have not, but I've seen I used to watch like the commercials for that as well. But
yeah, it's similar. Like it reminds me of Batman the Animated Series in its style, and it's just kind of like a fun, like dark as far as kids cartoons go cartoon, and I like it a lot.
Right. Yeah, I think probably what my favorite Saturday morning cartoon was. Have you heard of Jackie Chan Adventures?
Yeah. Oh, you.
I was the one who suggested that.
Yeah, I still need to do that. I keep meaning to do that.
I think it's also because like, I guess like it's bringing into the topic of, I guess now would be a great time to talk about it because May is Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, and so like talking about like representation, like seeing characters, even if they're animated, that look like that kind of are supposed to look like me. I thought that was cool, and so that's why it was like a series that, like I'm sure like shows like Static Shock for young black kids was very important too. And so but yeah, like Jackie Chan Adventures also because I was super into martial arts as a kid as well, and so loved Jackie Chan movies, like watched a whole bunch of his Hong Kong action movies, and so
that's really cool.
And like it was just like they introduced lore as well with like the 12 zodiacs. You find like was it coins or something, or like medallions, and each of them like has like a different like power. So like cool. One of them is like strength, like the ox is like for strength, and then another one is like for speed if you have the bunny. And then
that's really cool.
Yeah,
that sounds like a really cool show. I will definitely have to do that.
But yeah, that was a good show amongst the other ones that I've seen. Like X-Men, Justice League. Justice League was just great. And then Batman always avoid being hit on by Wonder Woman. He's trying to or no, he enjoyed it, but he's just like, we shouldn't date.
Yeah, I remember like I was really into superheroes as a kid. I always like favored Marvel, but also with the exception of Batman. I was really into Batman specifically.
Oh yeah, Batman. Yeah, Batman like definitely is a character that you don't. I guess Wolverine was kind of the closest one that you could find in terms of like personality. Like you see Batman like split up into different characters in Marvel characters.
Because like they always compare him to Tony Stark, but like their personalities are
they're completely different people. Tony Stark is like this brash, like, hey, look at me, I'm Tony Stark. Yeah. Whereas like Bruce Wayne is just like kind of boring. And then Batman, he's Batman. Like that sort of thing.
He's very intense.
Yeah.
He's very emo, which I always loved about him.
Yeah. Have you seen the animated movies, the DC animated movie universe movies?
Were those like the early 2000s ones?
Those are actually the recent ones.
No, I haven't seen any of those.
I've only seen clips, but I haven't.
I've seen, what was it, The Killing Joke? Come to think of it, that one was semi-recent. But yeah, I think that's the only like recent animated one I've seen. I remember as a kid, emo Batman for sure. I remember as a kid, seeing, what was it, Batman versus Dracula and being terrified.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like even as a kid, or even as an adult, like thinking back as a kid, just that pitch would scare me.
Yeah, and Archie's Weird Mysteries. I can attest that was very weird and cool. It was a fun show.
Yeah, I mean, apart from the one I watched of yours, I haven't seen it.
They're all on YouTube. It's just like one of those shows where like somebody uploaded all the episodes, and they're a lot, but they're just so entertaining.
How are you? Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Salvatore wants to know.
Welcome.
Have you seen Young Justice?
No, I have not.
It's a show about basically like it's kind of like Teen Titans.
Okay.
Like in terms of like they're teen, crime fighters, and they're all like the proteges of the Justice League.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
there's so many things that I'm like, I want to watch that, and then I forget to watch it. But like, there's so many shows out there.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, there's so many out there that interest me.
It's a very
And to this
first
day,
world problem.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, but yeah, to this day, I'm just kind of like a nerd for animation. I've always loved animation.
Okay, my Spanish is not good at all. Like, yeah, where are these people coming from now?
Hey, everybody. Danielle, question. Which, like, which little shop, like the one from the 50s or like, when did the first one come out? I know there's like several iterations of it. And yeah, I definitely should see Korra when I'm done with Avatar.
Yeah, I've seen it, and I don't get. I guess I kind of understand the hate. I wouldn't call it hate, but like, people are like, it's not as good as the original. I'm like, yeah, it's because it's a brilliant thing. Like,
yeah. I haven't heard anybody say it was bad, just that it wasn't like as good as the original.
Yeah, honestly, and I agree that it's not as good as the original, but it's like 7 out of 10, maybe. Like, it's fine. Yeah. Like, they're flawed writing in some episodes, but there was good villains, I gotta say. Animation was great on that.
Yeah.
So
1986 copy. I will look that up.
A bunch of people just started coming in.
Welcome.
Someone talked about Tarantino films. I've only seen a few Tarantino films. Actually, maybe like only one or two. I've seen the Kill Bill movies, and I've seen Inglourious Bastards. I think that was it.
I'm trying to think of if I've even seen one all the way through. I'm kind of a bad movie buff in that way, where it's like all the ones that everybody's like, you got to see these movies before you die. I've seen like a very small amount of them. But yeah, I keep meaning to watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I have not seen it yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Can you say hello to Joni Adu with Mani? Oh, hello.
Hi. Hi.
In your opinion, how much should Black people be paid when working with fruits? I'm not sure how to answer that question, or what. Yeah, I'm not sure how that question means. Whatever the going rate is, I guess, that other people are being paid. Can you say hello to? Okay, hello to Sigoni Adu Mani. Hello. Yeah. I think maybe like another 5 more minutes of the stream, and then I'll probably hop off. I've taken up enough of your time.
Oh, I'm having a blast. Thank you for having me.
Well, I've also taken up enough of my time then. My time is more important than yours.
That's fair.
No, this has been super fun.
Yeah,
just like talking about movies and shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Stay here. Salvatore, this is my channel. I'm sorry, but like, I gotta go, so I'm gonna end the stream. But if you want, like, keep the rules. If you guys want to keep like talking to Avery, you can head on over. You can head on over to her channel. Find her most recent or most popular or whatever, her newest video, and go watch her video. You guys can comment on that, and then continue the conversation in the comments. She'll be happy to answer any questions you guys have about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Archie's Weird Comics, or the weird mysteries.
I usually get back to comments pretty quickly. So.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
We have fun. We chat.
Yeah.
We chill out.
So before we end off, are there any final words that you want to say?
I just want to say thank you to you and to everybody for having me. I've had a lot of fun. Yeah, if you want to see more of me, you can find me on my YouTube channel. But it's been really fun. I've had a lot of fun.
Salvador, what would you do if you could choose between working as a pool cleaner or buying a pool in China? I don't know. It's not a situation I would see myself having to be in. I guess buying a pool. I don't know. It's a weird question. I feel like having a pool just requires a lot of maintenance, and being a pool cleaner. That's a weird question. I don't know, but how about you, Avery?
I don't even begin to know what that means.
Yes, very interesting question.
Um, but yeah, yeah, I cover nostalgic, obscure, otherwise strange content on my channel, so you can find a lot of old cartoons and just old TV in general over there. So if that's your thing, come and say hi. We're pretty chill over there.
All right. Well, I'm gonna end this broadcast. Thank you guys for hanging out. Yeah, we'll see you guys at another point in time. We're gonna have Avery back on the stream, or maybe you might see me on her channel on a live stream.
Absolutely, you need to come back and yeah, you need to. We should do another collab together soon for sure.
Yeah. All right. By the way, good job, Avery, is what Salvatore said.
Oh, thank you.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.